We'll do it outside here. Jesus fucking. That was way more difficult than it needed to be. Tetsuya, there's no reason in God's green fucking heavenly earth that you need to sit in the middle of the fucking couch.
Hikari.
Hmm?
No, she's correct.
She is, but she doesn't need to speak like that. Remember who we are. There are ways we talk to each other, and there are ways we do not talk to each other. Is everybody looking at the operation?
Yes.
I'm looking at it.
And before I get started, the door is locked outside, right?
Both doors should be locked. I've checked the front.
I
Back
will
door is
double
secure.
check.
Back door is secure.
So is the front.
Well, it's too late now.
Selective hearing on him, unfortunately. Hopefully that goes away for this.
Ah. We can see, you know. There's always a fresh sun on the horizon.
Front door is secure.
Can you step up closer to the table, Ichi? It's hard to hear you. Thank you. So, I'm sure you've had time to kind of briefly look over this. Does anybody have any questions off the bat before I just go over it? Anything that just seems unclear? We can get
No.
cleared up right away. So
I am
tomorrow,
Still reading over it at the moment, but I don't see any issues at this time.
tomorrow is a very big day for us. We need this to be successful. We'll also need to figure out who's going to be leading everything in, because you can see there are different teams. Each team will need someone who's going to be able to take control and do what needs to be done.
Of
But
course.
the gist of it, basically, is we're getting Morgan out of prison tomorrow. As you
It's
can
about
see, there
time.
has been some testing that's occurred to see what response times are, and it shows that it's been about 5 to 10 minutes before law enforcement shows up, the first call. Now, that's always dependent on the night. I would assume on a Saturday night, you could probably expect that to be closer to 5 minutes than 10.
Or sooner. Due to the proximity of the prison.
Yeah, I expect it probably sooner. At least for an initial unit.
As such, we have a team specifically that is going to be dealing with the first responders who show up and try and distract them as best as you can. That doesn't necessarily mean it has to start with shots. Is that understood? Distractions can
course.
come in many different forms. Now, depending on how they respond is how you respond back.
And just to confirm which team that is 2 on this document, correct?
Tetsuya,
I believe
Yes?
that would.
I apologize for how I spoke to you.
Yes.
Like I said before, I believe it was justified, but I
No.
do accept your apology.
Sakura was right.
Apologies, my head cut out for a second there again. I missed the last 10 seconds.
You're fine.
They were just apologizing, or she was apologizing to him. You didn't miss anything.
Okay.
Did you hear my question, Sakura-san?
No.
So the distraction team will be team 2, is that
Yes.
correct?
That is correct. Team 2.
Is
So-
Morgan aware?
She has been made aware
Okay.
through means. She has been difficult to get a hold of since, well, she's been a little bit of a troublemaker, but that'll work out for us because we know exactly where she is. And we will go directly to that spot, and you'll see it marked as Building 6. She's in cell 11, 2.
Do we know? Well, there's the guard count, of course. Would she
Couldn't hear you.
potentially have any assistance from any inmates on the inside at the time?
Well,
Or is...
the plan is we're actually taking 2 people out.
Oh, okay. I did see that. Yeah. At least I think I did.
Is that going to be including her cellmate that's listed here?
That's what I'm...
Yes, and they're in the same block, but they're in separate cells. We need to make sure we get both of them. And if you notice, they both have code names. When we do this tomorrow, we only use code names. We do not use real names. Is that understood?
Of course.
Understood.
It's clear.
Understand.
So if you go down, we'll skip ahead to the tasks area. That's where it tells you where they are located. Cell 6-11 is where Tetsuya is. That's who we want to extract most of all. But we need to also get Seki out. She is in cell 6-2.
I know that Tetsuya being the golden goose in the situation, where do we stand with Seki exactly?
Let me continue. All will be explained.
Of course.
They'll move in quick, fast, and in a hurry. Want to shock and awe, grab our people, and get out. And it'll be on Team 1 to make sure protection over Tetsuya overall is maintained at all times. Team 2, they will be barricading at, if you go back to the map, you'll see 2-4. That's where they're going to be trying to hold off any law enforcement.
If I may comment on that.
Go ahead.
The front gates, it appears you want them to hold off. However, I've driven by that area before, just on a casual drive, and I believe there's a side road coming up, which would infringe on their flank. From the
Yes,
north
but we
of
do
this
not
picture.
have unlimited resources here.
I understand. But just as a point of interest, depending on how many people on that team.
Which road in particular are you talking about? Because there's a road that goes in around the entire prison.
I believe there is a secondary entrance into the prison. Is what he's saying. I'm not 100% sure.
Do you happen to have the picture pulled up of the egress
The
routes?
map, yes.
Yes. It is about 1/10 of a mile down 68 before egress route 2. You can see there's a bit of a strand going up to there.
Bit of a strand.
Well, that is what it looks like on there. Unfortunately, the markings for building 6 cover it fully, but it would enter that access road, giving them access to
gate.
either the north and south side.
There's a gate on that side as well.
My worry is just of a flank on the north and south access road.
We literally can be flanked from all angles.
Yes, but that is just the one concern I see about positioning. That is it, though.
It depends on if they get reports on where exactly things are happening.
Swift and concise will be our benefit for this mission.
Yes. If we can get in and out, the faster the better. The longer we dilly-dally, the more likely they will show up over there. And to be upfront, this is not my plan that I drew up. Changes at this point are a little late.
It's very important that we
Understandable.
have as many people involved in this as possible. Otherwise, it is sure to fail. And I know I can speak for myself that I do not want our family to fail at this. I do not want to fail Yoshi at this at all. Oyabun has worked very hard to orchestrate this plan.
I agree with that one. That is definitely not something we can be making any mistakes anytime soon. Not for the scale of the operation.
Sakura, how many teams? 3?
There are 3 teams, yes.
Perhaps it would be good to formulate who will be leading each team.
You know, maybe you should just go ahead. Because I'm trying to explain what is to be done.
I can wait. It's fine.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
Are you?
Please go.
Okay. Team 1 is the entering the compound, correct?
Yes.
Anybody here of Ichi, Ukage, or Sakura volunteer to be the leader of Team 1?
I can take Team 1 for the cell breach.
Ukage or Sakura, which one of you would like to volunteer for Team 2?
I can do team 2.
Sakura, you good with Team 3?
Yes.
Tetsuya, where do you see you in this scheme? Where do you feel most comfortable?
I would say my least qualified is Team 3, but I am capable with a gun if you need me.
You will be a part of Team 1.
I appreciate your assistance. Be glad to have you. Consider it a great bonding moment.
Kind of items would we have at our disposal? Has there been anything procured for this? Any type of armored asset?
We have access to armored vehicles. We have a full complement of long arms and body armor.
Okay.
There's also explosives, as I mentioned.
Whose phone number ends in 3300?
That would not be mine.
That number is similar to mine, but not mine.
I don't believe that is
I
similar to
think it
mine at
is a
all.
filler number, if I'm honest.
Okay. No one has the last four of 0811? Or 3150?
I do not. That is not me.
No, I do not.
None of those numbers are mine.
Interesting. Okay.
We should fix that now.
Agreed. Ichi, what is your phone number?
Oh, apologies. If that is being done, I have a question for either one of the two of you that are available.
Ichi,
Yes.
what is your phone number?
Eight nine four 793 2868.
Ukage, what is your phone number? We're not going to make much progress if we're constantly having to ask the same question. Ukage, what is your phone number? Ukage?
Yes, my phone number. 630-333-0300.
Thank you very much, all of you. Tetsuya, what did you have?
My concern was simply about the armaments that would be available and where they would be at.
That was actually what my next question was going to be as well. Armament and armored vehicles wise, yes.
I believe we've touched base with the armored and weaponry and armor aspect, but Sakura, if you'd like to restate it.
I do not have the specific location, but we have what we need for tomorrow. Armored vehicles, weapons for everybody involved, and body armor.
Everybody hear that?
Yes.
I did.
I heard.
Perfect. Thank you, Sakura. Anyone have any questions?
Um, Code names, not the ones related to our targets, but ourselves. We're not to use our real names in communications. I'm just curious exactly what we shall be referring to ourselves as.
Well, probably a good time to come up with that now.
I am terrible at names, unfortunately.
Well, according to the document, for Team 1 and 2, it'll be called Ninja 1 and Ninja 2.
Yeah, I can't think of anything realistically appropriate. So I do say we have Ninja 1 and 2 for our code teams.
Yeah, their primary objective is to act as a courier and run interference for Tetsuya.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be wise if we went and had a look at the prison?
We should probably talk about the rest of the plan.
Please.
Well, you're leading, go on.
No, please, after you.
Oh, we ended the approach and infiltration section.
I believe that's been mostly covered, yeah.
I swear if I get cut off one more time, I'm cutting off someone's pinky. There'll be 2 different locations. We have both locations as secure. One being Chumash and the other being in Mirror Park. At those locations, there will be additional items. If you look at location 1, that's Chumash. That house has Faraday countermeasures, which means all communication while within there will be cut off. No transmissions will go through that. So don't forget that when you're in there. There are locks with codes that will be provided to you. When you leave, you need to make sure you recover the recording device for the doorbell camera in the computer room. That way nothing ties back to us there. Before you leave her in the house, you need to make sure she's secured to the bed, either by zip ties or handcuffs. When you leave out of there, you need to make sure you're headed south. Sorry. If I look at my tablet too hard, you guys can't hear me. I'm not sure what the last thing you heard was.
Leaving south.
Okay.
Yes.
So does everybody know why we're taking the second person?
I believe I did see that in the notes, something about bait or a distraction of some sorts.
Right. She's a Sikh's wife. So when we take her, with any hope, law enforcement would be looking for her most of all, because she's a bigger deal. Now, if this happens to be the case or not, we don't know, but that's kind of the idea. But she is going to be the one that will be the decoy.
Understood. On that note, is there any particular? I'm trying to think of the proper term. Not. I don't think we'd have any issues with her directly. More just. Actually, no, I guess that would be more accurate to it. Yeah. Would
Well, you're
she
team
have
one,
any?
right?
Yes. Would she be any issues?
She shouldn't be an issue.
Understood. I just.
She won't know that we're not really there to help her until it's too late.
Glad to hear it.
But Team 2, you also need to make sure once you've left that you contact Ambassador Masood Khan and leave an anonymous tip with her location so that she can be recovered.
Understood.
And after that, you'll remain in hiding. Sorry, I'm trying to read between the pages. So Team 3 will be myself so far. Once I get a nice safe position, I will operate the drone and basically cause a distraction within the main courtyard area within the prison.
I'm assuming the guards aren't any too fussed about drones buzzing the facility then?
Oh, they will be. They will not like it at all, and that's kind of the idea. It'll keep them
Okay.
distracted so our team can get in place before anything loud happens.
Understandable.
Now, it does say we'll be working jointly with some other contractors. At this point, who that is, I'm not sure.
Nobody can be trusted. Not to second guess everything, but just for the sake of this operation.
They will do what is required of them for the money we are paying them.
Understood?
Man, this is rough because I was not prepared to try and do this shit.
Well, you're doing a great job.
Now, if you remember from one of the first 2 pages, there are 10 or 11 towers with snipers. You need to make sure you keep a look on that and stay as much out of sight as you can on those, because that will be a huge risk when you're out in the open.
Building to building, then.
Yes. Anytime
Well,
in the open will. I do apologize.
Ideally, from our approach angle, we'll just go straight into the right building. Just have to keep an eye out. We'll be watching the towers and making sure that they're distracted with the drones when movement needs to happen. Any other questions or concerns?
What is going to be our rules of engagement? On site on anyone disrupting our task? Or simply if we're fired upon?
Ideally, we go as quiet as possible until we can't. So,
And if another inmate should try to play hero, treat them as a guard, or
why would they play hero? If they're
Just
smart,
seem-
they'll take the opportunity and do
Just
what they
never
need to
know.
do to take care of themselves.
never know. Sometimes there's the ones who what's the word? Have been accused of innocent crimes. I can't remember the actual word for that. Wrongly accused.
At the end of the day, our people are the most important. This mission is the most important. If anybody gets in the way, you do
Remove
what you
them?
need to do.
Understood.
And a second point. Instead of coming up with specific nicknames for each individual person, I would recommend each team has a nickname and the
Mhm.
people in there have numbered.
Yes.
Not saying it
that's-
should be the name, but as an example, if Team 1 was called Joker, she would be Joker 1. I would assume Joker 2 for myself, and 3 for the third person.
That sounds good to me. We already have Ninja 1 and 2.
Well, Ninja 1 and 2 is our support teams.
Yes, I mean as in code names.
Okay.
We already have them. So may as well stick to the established system, I guess.
I think we should pick different, more appropriate to our culture than Joker.
Yes, of course. I was just meaning in general.
hmm
If coming up with a name is too difficult, I would recommend a militaristic one. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie.
Or something as simple as Zen, Koi, Katana.
It could be just as effective, yes.
Even yes.
If I may, I think Koi might
It
be
might be a
tied
little.
since it's yeah, it is
So
tied to us because
That's a
of
little bit on
restaurants.
the nose, yes.
Well,
Maybe something.
all of them are essentially.
Why not more akin to the mythos? Oni, shinobi, something like
I
that.
had something and I completely fucking lost it now.
Was it yeah, Onin? Oh, it's Oni, shinobi, yaokai, stuff like that. I personally am a fan of yaokai.
It's up to y'all. Do we know if Yoshiro will be here for it specifically, or have you heard anything, Sakura?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay. Everything okay, Ukagi?
I can hear you typing. Don't punch your tablet so hard.
My apologies.
I do believe I could. Why not work? Honestly, for the operation and the culture namesake, I do believe Oni and Shinobi at the least would work.
You wanted to
We
use
had a
yokai as well?
yes, yokai is effectively Oni, but a little more discrepancies involved.
Okay.
It's a yokai is a broader generalization of Oni.
I will not be there for this tomorrow as I have been tasked with other duties.
Understandable.
So it's
I
really
do
up to y'all.
I believe if we have Team 3 doing the surveillance and all that with the drones, I believe Yaokai would be great for them. As I stated, it's a generalization for the demons, ghosts, and all that. And then Team 2 be Oni, because Onis are demons specifically, and you could just cause a bunch of hassle for them. Or Shinobi, who either way they could kind of be interchangeable, but based on which we feel is idealable, as Oni are just large demons, and Shinobi are assassins, subterfuge, political spies, masters of espionage. So that's why I was feeling maybe Shinobi for Team 2, and then we just have Oni for Team 1.
Is
Not
everyone
to.
okay? Sorry, Sakura, I
Sorry?
didn't mean to speak over you. What'd you say?
I say we go with one name, not two different names. We just go with Shinobi.
Shinobi? Understandable. So I believe Shinobi is the choice then.
Yes.
Shinobi it is. I guess we will figure out exact numbers from that
You can
point
determine
on.
that when we're on the ground,
Yes.
and ready to
that's where I
go.
that's where I was going with that.
because
Yes.
we don't have everybody here.
Should be easy to orchestrate.
Any other questions?
I do not.
I am all good.
None from me.
Very well. I think we should do a tour.
Do we have a vehicle that can take 5?
I can
follow
with my own.
A trunk is a very useful tool in a vehicle.
Are you volunteering?
That sounds like an offer.
If it is required.
It's not required. We'll take 2 vehicles.
I must step out of my head for a second.
You did very good.
Excuse me.
My apologies. Oh, okay, I go this way.
Apologies. I am good to go.
Secure your tablets and we'll leave.
I think she means to put it in a locker. Oh. Not quite sure what I just saw.
Sorry, I missed what you said there.
Secure your tablet in the locker.
Yes.
Thank you, Sakura.
Hmm.
Have I crossed you in some manner?
We can talk about it separately.
Very well.
I have a motorcycle, so I'll have to ride with someone. Who's driving?